One very sure sign that you have met your twin flame is you will never, ever look outside again for anyone else. This is the thing. When you meet your twin, the search is over. Your heart knows when the search is over. This is it. When you're in divine love with your divine counterpart, no one else comes close. You're no longer attracted to anything or anyone else other than them. You literally have only got eyes for them. It's physically impossible, in my opinion, to be with anyone else. This is it. When you meet them, the search is finally fucking over. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. This is a true sign that you've met your divine counterpart. Because, when you're in love, truly, deeply, divinely, spiritually in love, you cannot love anyone like that again. And I've seen this with people, saying I'm in love with two people or, I have feelings for two. That's bullshit. You cannot actually have feelings for two people if you're actually in love. It doesn't work. And, for people in the wrong relationships who fall in love with someone else, that's probably because the other person is their divine counterpart and the person they're with isn't actually their person. And this is the thing. You just know. You've been searching lifetimes for your twin flame. They are your other half. You have been separated for lifetimes. And you might have met them in previous lifetimes, but because of societal differences, cultural differences, dynamics, all these kind of age difference, the stuff that you're going through now that are keeping you apart in separation, that would have actually kept you properly apart, full stop, in past relationships. So you've literally been searching every lifetime for them. So when you come into this lifetime, the lifetime where you come into union, you're literally your whole life, you're searching. And you don't even realize you're searching until you find them. And then when you do find them, you're like, oh my God, I've been looking for you my whole fucking life. And that's it. And it's really weird. I didn't even conceive of this until, I've been on the twin flame journey since 2019. So I've known since I discovered twin flames, I suppose, that I deserve more. I've had toxic relationships in the past. I've narcissistic abuse. And after discovering I was a twin flame and nearly repeating another narcissistic abusive relationship cycle, I decided, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this anymore. And I kind of decided then I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait for my twin flame. And when you heal on the spiritual journey anyway, and this is before you even meet your twin in the physical, you just know. You just know in your heart and soul that person is coming and that person is for you. And you're constantly searching. But you never, you just know, you'll never settle for anything less. And genuinely, I just don't think it's possible to be with another person when you know you're a twin flame and when you connect with your twin flame on the 5D before you even meet in the physical. Because for me, I kind of just started to understand how spiritual love was. I started to understand how spiritual sex was. And I didn't want to give myself away to anyone again. And I remained celibate and I decided and to be honest, I get satisfaction on the 5D with my twin flame anyway. So I don't actually physically, humanly need that anymore, because to me that's kind of icky, and I think with a lot of us twins we do choose celibacy because we don't want icky anymore. We don't want meaningless, unsacred sex. And that's the thing. And we just know that we don't want to settle anymore. And I since meeting my twin in the physical, I realize now I've always been searching. I always had this vision in my head of randomly meeting my twin, of randomly him asking me out, or, just this random encounter. So I kind of was always searching, always looked at that person on the street or always looked at that person who came to my door or whatever. And I kind of wondered, is it you? Is it you? Is it you? And, I didn't even realize this till I met my twin. And now I'm wow, it's kind of my soul saw him and said, it's been you. I've been searching all my life for you. And the search literally stops and you're like, you're satisfied. You know, even if you're in separation with your twin, you just know you cannot seek that, or you cannot find that feeling with anyone else. You cannot replicate it with anyone else. And this is the thing. And it really bugs me, because I think even if you, like, you know, I've seen this with other, you know, relationship dynamics from programs I watch. You know what I mean? They're getting out of a relationship and then they're getting straight into another one. I'm like, you obviously didn't have feelings for that person if you're able to fucking jump into another relationship. And that's the thing. If you don't love yourself, you're going to keep seeking that love in random places. And until you discover the twin flame journey or your spiritual journey, you're never going to truly heal yourself enough to love yourself. And when you do love yourself, you respect yourself, but you also discover the deep spiritual love of your twin flame. And you just cannot. It's deceptive. How could you be in a relationship with somebody when you're in love with somebody else? I think it's really, really deceptive. It's deceptive towards yourself, but deceptive towards the other person. Like, you know, and until you do your fucking healing, you're going to continue to do dynamics like that, because you're seeking outside yourself for that love. And that's why it's so important. That's one of the most important things of the twin flame journey, is to heal your shit. And to get to a place where you don't need a mediocre relationship, and that you're satisfied with your twin flame's 5D connection until you come into 3D union. And that's it. Like, the search is over. And your heart knows. Your heart, your soul just knows that you cannot replace this person. That there is no other person on this planet that will match you the way your twin flame does. And, you know, there is that... your twin doesn't look like your match on paper, but on a deep core soul level, they're perfect for you. Absolutely perfect. They have the same likes as you. They have the same everything as you. You know what I mean? They are the only other person on this planet that will satisfy you the way you need to be satisfied. So this is the thing we need to remember. You can't replace that. And, you know, I've read about, you know, twins not getting into union and then they're going for soulmates. I just don't think that's possible. In my own heart and soul, I can feel in my own heart and soul, if I don't end up with my twin, I'm going to remain single, and I'm okay with that. Because how could you get into a relationship with somebody when you're in love with somebody else? I just don't think it's physically possible. And I'm happier in my own skin alone than getting into a mediocre relationship with somebody I could never truly love. You cannot match divine love. You know, and I used to think that, like, I was in love a few times throughout my past. And when I actually fell in love with felt the love for my twin flame before we even met, you know, in the 5D, and I was just like, I look back, I wasn't in love half the amount of times I thought I was. You know, the only real time I was probably in love was my first love. Because that's the only one that kind of comes close, but not fully, to divine love. You know, when I discovered what love was. And that was one-sided anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I've never actually felt reciprocated love. And the divine love you have with your counterpart is reciprocated, even if you're in separation. That love bubble, you know, where you actually love that person, that soul, as much as they love you. That's an otherworldly feeling. You know what I mean? And I know we go through our doubts and our insecurities, and that's all stuff that we have to heal. But when you sit with it, when you sit in silence and feel in your heart and soul that connection between you and your twin, you can't match that. To actually feel that love for them, but feel it come back to you. And that's the thing, because your twin is your other half anyway. You're actually, you loving yourself is loving them, and you loving them is loving yourself. And I love this analogy, right? So, you know, a lot of people can drain your energy, and you know when they're a mismatch because, you know, they piss you off from time to time. But the way I see it with twin flames, when you're together especially, but even on the 5D, you're like plugged in to each other on a constant charge of 111%. And you don't deplete. You're always on that 111%. And that's what the divine love feels like. Because, as I said, and it's 222% really, because you're at 111% charge, they're at 111% charge, but you feel their energy as well as your own, so it's double. So that's 222% charge. And then they feel the 222% charge because they're feeling yours and theirs. And I just think it's just, when you're with somebody, and especially when you're with your twin, and you're just on a constant high because you're happy because you're with them, but you're happy because they're happy. So you've got double happy. And that's the way I feel. That's how divine love feels, is that 222% constant love bubble feeling, even when you're in separation. So that's magical. And like, if you were to go into a mediocre non-twin flame relationship dynamic, you wouldn't even be on 50% charge half the fucking time because they just piss you off, like, because they're just not in alignment with your soul. That's the way I feel. Because, with any of my past relationships, I was on probably minus 1,000,000% most of the fucking time because they sucked all the fucking energy out of me. You know what I mean? So that's the thing with the twin flame connection. You just know. You know in your heart, you know in your soul that you don't have to look anymore. What's the quote? I love it. True love is your soul's recognition of its divine counterpart in another. And that's what true divine love is. When you meet your twin flame, your heart knows that the search is over. So trust this. Trust in that. Trust that you cannot replace them. You can't replace that charge. You can't replace that love. You can't replace that energy. And it is energetic because, when you're not together in the physical, you're together on the 5D. And that's energetic. Like, sex is energetic anyway. So you're getting that satisfaction. And as I've said this before, I get more satisfaction on the 5D than I ever did with a mediocre relationship in the 3D. That's fucked up, like. You know what I mean? So why would you bother giving your sexual energy to somebody who's not your twin when your twin gives you everything you need, whether in separation or not? That's the thing. So yeah, you don't need that shit. And that's the thing with coming to that place of unconditional love within yourself. You know you don't need that shit. And if you're looking for that shit, it means you haven't fucking healed. So that's a thing to look at within yourself. So yeah, just remember that. You will know it's your twin flame because you can't replace them. You can't replace that feeling. You can't replace that otherworldly feeling of divine love. Because there is no replacement. There is no one else that will match your soul like your twin flame does. And that, to me, is an absolute fact. So, thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you would like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I'd love nothing more than to help you on your path.